So through all these challenges, through all this experience, what are the top 3 practical things you've done to prepare your business for the long term? Yeah, I'd love to know. For me at Community, we've said cash first. We've turned around and said we need to find 2 clients by the end of the year, so we're golden. And we've turned around and said, hey, what does success look like next year on the back of this? And so we've been asking those questions, and that's how we're trying to build ourselves. But for you both, I'd love to hear like your thinking, your processes to what those 3 things are and how you got there.
Okay. Well, I'll kick off. I think for me, the 3 key things was to do a lot more online networking and offline as we can, with some social distancing, of course. So things like meetups. So anyone who's looking for, well, how do I network? How do I get out there? Meetups is an online platform which allows you to search based on your area of interest or expertise, and you'll find that people have already set up different groups in which you can engage and go to various different meetings. Social events. Sometime, if they haven't got one created, why don't you create one yourself and start to invite people to that, because people are often searching for these things. Again, go on to Eventbrite. Eventbrite always has loads of different events on it. Do a search through those and you can often find something within your own industry or area of interest. That's really important. And also, I think collaborations with smaller businesses. So when you've got small businesses, one of the things that's really important is that you try and find other allies or people within your own spaces, or people who complement what you do. That way you can start to collaborate together. I created the Flexi Bench a few years ago, which was exactly that kind of platform, which introduces freelancers and small businesses to get them to work together. But you can find them within your own networks or around your own areas in which you can start to share things or start to work together. So if you think about the cash flow thing, if you know, well, actually my business, I'm either new in the area or my cash flow isn't where I need it to be. But if I could collaborate and work with someone and we could then give a service offering together, then that might be a good direction for you as a business.
Oh, 100%. Can I just tag on to that? So that's how Community grew in its early years, right? Because we're a 3-man team. We're a 5-man team now, so we haven't grown much. We've grown more in density and type of work we do than size. But when we first started, we realized we didn't have the skill sets to do anything. We understood we could research, we could design, okay, but at the time we couldn't build. So we needed to find developer friends. And then at the time we needed also recruitment partners to help us do the research effectively. And so we started building out our own value chain about how we serve our clients. And so what we started being able to do now is we started to be able to collaboratively pitch for larger pieces of work and divide that up. And that's what started to get our foot on that's what really got our foot on the ladder. So when we did our first local government piece of work, that was in collaboration with someone who had the management and expertise to really help us organize ourselves to do what we did. And then after you do that, you get your name on the header. Or it's like, how do you do that? You can now go and do it by yourself.
Yeah.
Or you can continue doing it in concert with others, but you've got those options now. And so most definitely those steps really do help towards your growth. So it's like, okay, you do this, but what's the complementary skill set? What do they go by next after they buy you?
Absolutely. Just to give you an example, when I set up Premier Change Consulting in 2014, first couple of years we made a loss. And by the time we went into our 3rd year, we then, we managed to secure a contract that, over 2 years was sort of 1.8 million. So that's just to say, going from scratch of having a business that I literally just had the name, I had no contracts or anything else, but going out there, negotiating, putting yourself out there. I did some interim work whilst I was building the business for rates that were a lot lower than I would normally take. But when I got in there, I actually navigated and managed to bring in 4 resources into that one project that I was on. And that allowed me to start to build out and grow. And we have some really large, reputable companies now that we work with. So it's just to give everyone a little bit of spirit in there to say that, you can start off with a very small amount, but you can grow quite significantly. And you know, last year, and Akil, you know, as he alluded to, was, you know, I was sort of brought him on board to get him his experience around bid writing, etc. And I know I was pretty tough and pretty harsh. And I know on some days he probably thought, oh God, I don't want to work with this woman ever again. But it was a learning process. And, you know, in one in which he also contributed to working with us on a bid that put us in with the NHS. And that NHS contract, in terms of the framework, is now valued at over 100 million. So we now have access to be one of the preferred suppliers on there. And we're the very smallest consultancy on there.